Welcome, welcome, welcome into another day and another lesson in a course in miracles. Today we are moving on to lesson 70. My salvation comes from me. Your salvation comes from you. And yesterday we were on lesson 69, which is my grievances hide the light of the world in me. So before we get into our lesson, let's just take that quick little bit of time to just tune in so we can really open ourselves up to receive, closing your eyes or settling your gaze a few inches in front of you as you begin to invite the breath. With every inhale, inviting the breath in. And every exhale, letting the breath go. Inviting in. And letting go. This is a practice that you could use at any time during the day, inviting peace in. Letting fear go. Inviting forgiveness in. Letting grievances go. Learning to use the breath as an assist for your intentions. So taking a couple more breaths here, personalizing it to you. What are you inviting in with the breath? And what are you letting go of with the breath? Let's do one more here. Beautiful, beautiful. As you're ready, bring your attention back to the space as we get into lesson 70. So all temptation is nothing more than some form of the basic temptation not to believe the idea for today, which is that your salvation comes from you. So too does the source of guilt. You see neither guilt nor salvation as in your own mind and nowhere else. When you realize that all guilt is solely an invention of your mind, you also realize that guilt and salvation must be in the same place. In understanding this, you are saved. The seeming cost of accepting today's idea is this. It means that nothing outside of yourself can save you. Nothing outside yourself can give you peace. But it also means that nothing outside of yourself can hurt you or disturb your peace or upset you in any way. Today's idea places you in charge of the universe, where you belong because of what you are. This is not a role that can be partially accepted. And you must surely begin to see that accepting that role is salvation, is healing. It may not, however, be clear to you why the recognition that guilt is in your own mind entails the realization that salvation is there as well. God would not have put the remedy for sickness where it cannot help. That is the way your mind has worked, but hardly the way God's mind works. God wants you to be healed. So God has kept the source of healing where the need for healing lies. And you and I have tried to do just the opposite, making every attempt, however distorted or fantastic it might be, to separate healing from sickness. for which it was intended, and thus keep the sickness. Your purpose was to ensure that healing did not occur. God's purpose was to ensure that it did. Today we practice realizing that God's will and ours are really the same in this. God wants us to be healed, and we do not really want to be sick because it makes us unhappy. Yes. Therefore, in accepting the idea for today, we are really in agreement with God. God does not want us to be sick. Neither do we. He wants us to be healed, and so do we. We are ready for 2 longer practice periods today, each of which should last some 10 to 15 minutes. We will, however, still let you decide when to undertake them. We will follow this practice for a number of lessons, and it would again be well to decide in advance when would be a good time to lay aside for each of the practice periods, and then adhering to your own decisions as closely as possible. Begin these practice periods by repeating the idea for today, adding a statement, right, which is my salvation comes from me, is what you'll repeat to yourself. Then adding a statement signifying your recognition that salvation comes from nothing outside of you. You might put it this way: my salvation comes from me. It cannot come from anywhere else, from anyone else. Then devote a few minutes with your eyes closed to reviewing some of the external places where you have looked for salvation in the past. In other people, in possessions, in various situations and events, and in self-concepts that you sought to make real. Recognize that it is not there, and tell yourself, my salvation cannot come from any of these things. My salvation comes from me and only from me. Now we'll try again to reach the light in you, which is where your salvation is. You cannot find it in the clouds that surround the light, and it is in the clouds, the external things that you have been looking for it. It is not there. It is past the clouds and in the light beyond. Remember that you will have to go through the clouds before you can reach the light. But remember also that you have never found anything in the cloud patterns you imagined that endured or that you wanted. Since all illusions of salvation have failed you, surely you do not want to remain in the clouds, looking vainly for idols there, when you could so easily walk on into the light of real salvation. Try to pass the clouds by whatever means appeal to you. If it helps you, think of me holding your hand and leading you. And so this is Jesus. And I assure you, this will be no idle fantasy. Whoa. For the short and frequent practice periods today, remind yourself that your salvation comes from you and nothing but your own thoughts can hamper your progress. You are free from all external interference. You are in charge of your salvation. You are in charge of the salvation of the world. Say then, my salvation comes from me. Nothing outside of me can hold me back. Within me is the world's salvation and my own. Wonderful. So let's get our 15-minute practice going. I'm still sticking with 15 minutes. And I will work on my willingness to make sure the second one happens. So yeah, I figure we'll do the long one together, and then we'll be off to our own, picking those times of day, whether to join on this video or on your own. Let's get started now. Again, my salvation comes from me. It cannot come from anywhere else. We're going to spend a couple minutes exploring all the places, all the people, all the jobs, all the situations and circumstances we have tried to find to be saved or to find happiness or healing. And then we're going to tell ourselves the truth. My salvation cannot come from any of these things. My salvation comes from me and only me. Let's get started. finishing up our longer practice period, or one of 2 longer practice periods. And then throughout the day, for short and frequent practices today, remind yourself that your salvation comes from you, and nothing but your own thoughts can hamper your progress. You are free from all external interference. You are in charge of your salvation. You are in charge of the salvation of the world. So what you'll be saying to yourself frequently is, my salvation comes from me. Nothing outside of me can hold me back. Within me is the world's salvation and my own. Much love and appreciation. I will look forward to joining with you again tomorrow as we move into lesson 71, a lesson I have really marked up. So, all right, I'll look forward to joining with you tomorrow. Much love.